Anti-doping authorities have confirmed that 15-year-old Russian athlete Kamila Valieva has tested positive for a banned substance in what Moscow insists is a misunderstanding. Now, the International Testing Agency announced that the heart drug used to treat angina was detected in a test carried out in December. It has now emerged that the Russian anti-doping agency overturned the athlete's provisional suspension, allowing her to compete and win in Tuesday's team skating event. The Kremlin says it is fully behind Valieva, but her future remains uncertain as her case is set to go before the Court of Arbitration for Sport. Now, keeping us right up to date with all things Winter Olympics, we're joined by sports reporter Michael Kern. Good to see you, Michael. The IOC saying that it will appeal against the Russian anti-doping authorities' decision to lift Valieva's suspension. But do we know any more about, how she was allowed to compete in Beijing in the first place?
No, for sure. So the timeline on this is a little bit complicated. So I'm going to abbreviate this as quickly and as concise as I can. So 25th of December is when she was tested at the Russian National Figure Skating Championships in St. Petersburg. The very next day, she won the singles title, qualified for the Olympic Games. Start of the week, of course, 6th and 7th, she makes the debut, helps them win the gold medal. Now, it's then on Tuesday that a WADA accredited laboratory in Stockholm returns the positive result for TMZ. So there's a big question on why it's taken so long. Immediately, that means, of course, she's suspended. The Russian anti-doping agency on Wednesday overturned that appeal after the Russian Olympic Committee questioned it. So this is all happening mid-games. Yesterday we heard about the reports, and then today the IOC have confirmed that that's a positive test. They're going to appeal against it, and of course, if they do appeal and win, the Russian Olympic Committee can also appeal again. So I think this is going to go on for a few more days to come just yet. Of course, the Court of Arbitration for Sport does have a panel at the Games to deal with things like this quickly. But of course, there's a lot to be resolved, especially if they wanted to compete on the 15th of February. But yeah, she took the test on the 25th of December. So have that result on the 8th. There's going to be a lot of questions around that.
Absolutely, a complicated timeline, a lot of questions. And then one thing that I find myself thinking about in the midst of all this controversy is we're talking about a 15-year-old athlete at the end of the day and her future hanging in the balance there. Ultimately, where does the responsibility lie in this case?
So I think regarding to the case, it's very difficult to say at this stage, but obviously a focus has to be on that athlete's welfare. As you said, a 15-year-old. I'd be very surprised if there wasn't welfare officers in place within the IOC at the Games. Of course, you would presume we'll be giving her some support with this one. Regarding the case and the gold medals, the IOC and the ITA are now appealing that decision, of course. Now, if they're successful, that means Russia would be stripped of a gold and Valieva would be banned from competing in that singles event. But of course, we're going to have to see how this plans out. But as you quite rightly point out, there's a 15-year-old involved in this, and their welfare is just as important in this whole scenario as well.